Hi, I'm Corey.
And I'm Kirsten, Kirsten.
Today, we're not only going to show you some of the most interesting and unusual animals at the zoo, but we're going to visit my all-time favorite place when I was a little guy.
Favorite, F-A-V-O-R-I-T-E. I know what place you're talking about, Corey, and I still love to go there too. It's so relaxing. R-E-L-A-X-I-N-G.
I can feel a long story coming.
So stay with us. You'll be amazed. A-M-A-Z-E-D.
By what you see on Zoo Today. So, Kirsten, tell me why you're spelling everything.
Well, there's going to be a big spelling bee at my school, and I plan to win. So I'm trying to get in as much practice as I can. Practice. P-R-A-C-T-I-C-E.
Well, maybe you should practice later, L-A-T-E-R, after we finish the show, because Sharon is going to show us an unusual little lizard called a gecko. Can you spell gecko?
Gecko. L-I-Z-Z-A-R-D. Gecko.
All right, so we're in the holding area in the reptile house and getting ready to look at a gecko, right, Val?
That's right.
What kind of gecko is this that we're going to be catching out of here?
The Latin name for this animal is Gecko stentor, but the more common name for it is the green-eyed gecko. What we're going to be looking at on this lizard is its very special feet. It has some adaptations that other lizards don't have for survival. It's pretty interesting. But I have to catch one before we can look at its feet.
So you're going to come jumping out of here when you take the lid off?
It might.
Oh.
One of the interesting things about these feet is that they enable the animal to run up smooth surfaces. So this gecko can actually run up the glass and up my arm and off my shoulder and up into the ceiling if I'm not careful.
Okay. He's really dark, like the color of the bark. Can he change color?
Maybe a little bit lighter and darker, but they rely on their pattern and their markings for camouflage, not so much color change, but just the normal pattern that's there. Now he's hoping I can't see him.
Yeah, he's being very still.
I had to be very quick but very gentle. He's not very big. See, his mouth is open. He is not pleased. You have to be careful how you get him out of the cage. Now there's another one in here, so we don't want to take the lid off too far. Okay, and here is the green-eyed gecko. I'll take a look at his feet right away.
Oh, yeah. Little pads on there. Are those like little suction cups?
That's the idea most people have of what enables these guys to walk up surfaces. However, there's no suction cup here. These surfaces of the toes are, they're not sticky, and there's no suction cup. What they are is very, very soft. They feel like very soft rubber. And they're able to take advantage of tiny imperfections in the surface that we can't even see. They cling to you a little bit when you touch them. And they do have claws on the very ends of their toes, so that when they climb up trees or on bark-type surfaces like this, they can still hang on, because these toe pads don't work on just everything. They work very well in glass, cement, smooth surfaces.
So he's got toe pads for smooth surfaces and claws for rough surfaces. He can climb on just about anything, I guess. Huh?
Just about.
Oh, look at those pretty green eyes.
These are beautiful lizards. They're not particularly common in zoo collections.
Where would this be found in the wild?
This particular gecko comes from Malaysia and some of the larger surrounding islands. Its habits are nocturnal, and therefore the logs in the cage, it's not its habit to come out during the daytime. It hunts at night.
What does he hunt for? What does he eat?
They eat insects. They probably eat small rodents if they can get them. Geckos like this are opportunists, and they'll eat just about anything they can catch, probably including smaller lizards.
But all meat. They don't eat plants.
No vegetation. All prey that is alive and normally moving prey. It helps them identify the prey by moving. If I let go of its head, it will bite me. They do resent very much being handled like this.
Would it hurt? He doesn't seem to have any teeth, does he?
They have teeth. They're tiny little serrations. We'll see. It's not very difficult to get them to open their mouth.
Wow, look at him now. Well, you can't even see them. They're so...
But if you put your finger in there, you would know.
Huh?
That's right.
Does he have a tongue?
Yes, they have a tongue, but not the type of tongue a chameleon has that can zot out and grab prey. Just a small tongue. Their eyes are interesting. They have vertical pupils like cats, and they're very sensitive to light. Right now it's in full light, so the pupils are very much condensed. They're small. But they will dilate in the darkness. So if you got this animal out in a darkened room, the pupils would be much larger. They very much look like cat eyes. Their skin is soft. They have scales like all reptiles, but they have very soft scales covered by more warty protuberances that look like tubercles on the back. So it's smooth, soft skin covered by rougher scales that stick out. And they look like bark. It's very, very good camouflage for these guys. They have ear openings, but not external ears like we do. The ear opening is located right there on the side of the head. Also, some geckos like nectar, and in the wild some of them will eat nectar from flowers. And so we give them baby food with a vitamin mineral supplement added to it.
So this yellow-looking yucky stuff in the bowl is actually baby food?
It's apricot baby food with tapioca.
What are these white things on the inside of the log?
These are where eggs have been laid, and the sticky surface of the egg when it's first laid stuck tight to the bark, and then it hardened up so that both eggs were permanently stuck to the bark, and they incubated right there. But we found that sometimes the females will eat their own eggs. On this piece of bark, when these eggs were laid, I pulled this bark out and put it in a separate aquarium so that the adults couldn't get at it.
This is it. This is where some of my best childhood memories were made.
Childhood memories? MEMORIES. When was that? Yesterday? You're only a little bit older than me.
Yeah, but you know, at a certain age, those years become like dog years.
Well, then I guess this is the perfect place for you to reminisce, Fido. REMINISCE. And Doug's going to give us a guided tour.
Hey, Mike, I'd like to see what's going on in the children's zoo today. Do you have a few minutes to show me around?
Sure, let's go in here. They're just finishing up some of the morning cleaning right now.
Well, we have quite an unusual selection of animals in the children's zoo, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Starting with this pen right here, this is an unlikely combination, a deer and a pig.
Yeah, well, this combination works because they've turned out to be pretty good friends. And this is a female here. You notice the pot belly is where they get their name from. They're in the zoo here because of their basically gentle nature. Okay, right now they're going to put a halter on him.
And we're going to watch.
They're going to try him.
Oh, look at his ears back, huh?
You guys want to get him in a... Ah, here he goes.
That's what you mean by spitting,
That's
huh?
right.
Oh, she's got him. His name is Tony, huh?
Tony Llama.
Tony Llama. Big ears and really nice soft fur.
You can see he's a little bit more tempered, better tempered.
Got his
now.
ears up now. He's nice and alert and good temper. The llamas are members of the camel family, I believe,
right.
from South America.
He's mostly down there for as a pack animal. Very weather hardy. He adapts well to cold and hot weather.
Mm-hmm. So they actually put packs on these guys and use them as beasts of burden?
That's right.
Should be looking at me like he's going to spit on me.
She spends most of her day by this rail licking people, the salt and people system on their hands.
Oh.
It's a real good animal for a children's zoo once she stays in her path.
So this is the little guy that's making all the noise over here. And we have a couple of donkeys, it looks like.
Yes, these are mammoth donkeys, and we loan these guys from Findlay College for the summer. Yes, we have Angora goats with the real thick coat on them. The big one there is a Shropshire sheep. And this one here is a La Mancha goat. They call them the earless goat.
This one has no ears. Are the crows tame like the blue jays?
No, the crows aren't really tame as far as they're used to the people going in and feeding them, working on them. These crows came from the wild with injuries, and since they can never be rehabilitated back into the wild, we ended up with the crows here and there.
I can see one of them has
wings.
kind of a droopy wing.
Right, they both have broken wings.
Broken wings.
Here comes the feed. Nuggets food is soaked. They get a pellet. It's a concentrated pellet. That's the base part of their diet. We have to soak hers in water or it's the dust in it makes her sneeze. And,
Oh, really?
So we soak hers in a little bit of water, and she gets it.
Is it just like pig food?
No, actually, it's a low-fiber pellet that we feed to everybody down here.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, it's a pretty basic feed.
And the deer likes her hay, I see.
She gets alfalfa hay. The rest of the animals down here get what's called Timothy hay, like the elephants would get.
Yeah. This is kind of a neat little exhibit. Looks like a barn.
Yeah, we made it to look like this. We built this about 5-6 years ago from, actually we found a farmer that donated the lumber from his old barn, and we threw it together one day. We have 2 barn owls in here now. You'll find them in a lot of barns in areas in Ohio.
And this is the lone peacock at the zoo now. We used to have lots of peacocks running around, didn't
Yeah, we used to let them run free all over the zoo. This is Bucky, our 11-year-old mini horse.
He's tiny.
For his breakfast. Yeah, he's about 32 inches.
And he's fully grown. He'll never get any bigger than this.
Right. Weighs about 225 pounds. As you can see, she's ready to be milked.
Wow, she does seem to have a lot of milk in her. Does she like this? I mean,
She looks forward to it. It's very relieving to her to unload all that milk. She, when she puts her head through that stockade, that just assures that she doesn't back up. We feed her some treats there. Her babies are in the goat paddock now. They're a little bit too big to be nursing.
Yeah.
They're weaned, so she would dry up if we weren't milking.
What do we do with the milk?
We've been giving some to the pigs. Pigs love it.
All right, tell me what to do here.
Okay. Just grab a hold right here and squeeze with all your fingers.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
And this doesn't hurt her?
Nope. Nope, actually relieves the pressure in her udder. And you have to open your hand to let the milk come down into the teeth again.
Oh, you do it fast.
Ever wonder how long a spider lives? Most spiders live less than 1 year.
But I bet you didn't know that the female tarantula can live up to 20 years, while the male lives about 10 years.
You may think these amazing creatures would be kings of camouflage. They're walking sticks, and they disguise themselves to look like tree branches.
These insects do neat tricks like swaying back and forth to look like a branch blowing in the wind, or standing perfectly still to look like a twig.
Even so, they still get captured and eaten by birds. And to avoid being eaten, some walking sticks will play dead by collapsing when touched.
Diving beetles, on the other hand, are fierce underwater hunters. They have sharp, sickle-shaped jaws for seizing their prey. Each jaw can pump powerful digestive juice into the victim's body. This juice dissolves the victim's insides into soup, which the beetle sucks up as through a straw.
Mmm, bug slurpee.
You may have heard something.
But I bet you didn't know. While Kirsten is busy trying to spell horticulture, Sharon and Dale are going to show us some of the most useful plants known to man.
Useful. U-S-E-F-U-L. Useful. How do you mean useful? In what way?
Well, some of these plants are used to make medicines, cosmetics, fabrics.
Fabrics. F-A-B-R-I-C-S. Fabrics. It's amazing, Corey. How do they do it?
Well, by studying and unlocking the mysteries of horticulture.
Horticulture. H-O-U-R...
Well, Dale, I guess this is your corner of the zoo, more or less, the conservatory, the very historic conservatory here at the zoo, where Green Treasures opened up in
June 1st.
June of '95, but it's going to remain open every day through May 31st of '96.
Yes.
What exactly is this exhibit?
It's pretty much all tropical plants that we wanted to make people more aware of the diverse uses there are. I guess an extraction from the fruit is actually used to treat arthritis. Body paint, resins, glues, cabinetry, woodworking, hopefully makes people more aware of how important it is to preserve the rainforests and the native people and their way of life. The leaves are antiseptic, so like Vicks Vapo Rub.
Oh yeah.
It's from a plant in this family. So.
Great. Well, you want to start taking us through here?
Sure.
I see some common names such as tea and ginger,
Tea, ginger,
and avocado.
This one here, patchouli, it's It was a real popular cologne kind of in the 60s, and it's originally from India. And here, take a.
The name of the perfume was actually patchouli?
Patchouli oil, yeah. I guess it's making a comeback with everything else from the 60s. And you just kind of rub it, and you probably recognize it.
No, I don't.
Okay, never mind.
It's okay.
This plant here, originally the Bornean Indians used it as an arrow tip poison. It's useful because it's a botanical insecticide which can, it kills insects and fish, but it doesn't harm mammals.
Wow.
So like organic gardeners use it. There are chemotherapy drugs that are derived from this plant that are used in treating childhood leukemia. And I guess before they discovered these drugs, the remission rate was like 20%.
Wow.
And now it's up to 99%, just from this plant alone.
That's great.
The native people had uses for these plants, and our chemists and scientists recognized these uses and did more research and found even more uses that are applicable today. So, like I said, that's why it's important that not only do you save the plants, but you save the indigenous people.
The coconut palm, is that an actual coconut coming out of the ground?
Yeah, you can see it there in the pot, and that's how pretty much they disperse themselves from island to island. The coconut will fall off a palm tree on one island, and the husk is so thick and it's buoyant that they float, and as they come up on the beach on another island, they'll sprout there, and so that's how coconut palm.
Coconut trees grow from a coconut.
Yep, it's just
I never knew
coconut
that.
is a seed.
We should probably point out on these signs this recipe.
The little insignias correspond to like the different uses of the plants.
Okay.
So that's probably medicinal.
And then
there's
pineapple, which is fruit.
It's edible fruit, yeah.
And then
perfumes.
The skull and crossbones down here is
poisonous.
Okay. This is obviously
that's the symbol
fragrance sign.
Yeah, little
symbol.
Perfume bottle, and it corresponds. We have the large graphics around the entire conservatory, and it gives a little blurb about the different uses in terms of, like this one, repellents.
So this is the dye plant section, I guess you would call it.
We tried to group things according to their uses. Rouge plant, other than the fact that the native Indians use it for a dye, they boil down the fruit and make a body paint out of it. So it'd be like cosmetics for us, but this is what they have to use.
Now I noticed that there are 2 huts in here. What are their purposes?
We collected some of the day-to-day utensils that the native people use and actually make from the different forest plants. In terms of like palm fibers, they actually make their clothing out of bark. We have bows and arrows, blowguns, musical instruments, beads, and these are all actual products from actual tribes. After the flower blooms, it gets this red swollen calyx, and they harvest this and they make jams and jellies out of it. They actually use it's a non-toxic dye that they use in lipstick, nail polish. They actually used to use it to color margarine. They get scopolamine from that, which is they use for motion sickness.
What do you have there? They actually look like cherry tomatoes.
It's called a Barbados cherry, and it's actually, you go to the health food store and you buy vitamin C in the form of, it's called acerola. This is the fruit they get it from, and it's higher in vitamin C than like an orange or a grapefruit. And they're actually kind of tasty. You want to try one?
These actually grow right on the tree?
Yeah, this tree here isn't really in fruit right now. I have one off exhibit, and I thought I'd pick one for you. Pretty good.
Hi, I'm Michelle, putting on the feed bag with a shy friend from down under. No, he's not from Australia. He's from down under, the ocean. The octopus is a reclusive creature that often hides among the rocks, using camouflage to protect his privacy. But when he's afraid or excited, he turns reddish in color as a defense against attackers. Octo means 8, which is where this 8-armed ocean dweller gets its name. Each of his arms, and they're arms, not legs, has dozens of super sticky suckers attached underneath. In the wild, an octopus uses its suckers to grab and hold his prey, which mostly consists of shellfish. Here at the zoo, an octopus meal is made up of prepared seafood, smelt, shrimp, and squid to be exact. This 20-pound octopus eats about twice a week. He uses his arms to pass the food over to his beak, which is located on the underside of his body. With his strong beak, he is able to crack the shells of the shrimp. Mmm, delicious. But I like mine with cocktail sauce. So the next time you're enjoying a tasty shrimp dinner, remember my friend the octopus. I'm Michelle, putting on the feed bag. Can you name the type of bird that received its name because it resembled 18th century men in powdered wigs?
I'm not sure of the name, but I know it's a terrestrial bird.
Terrestrial. T-E-R-R-E-S-T-R-I-A-L. This bird is not only known by its black and white plumage, but also by its long, slender legs.
Black and white feathers and long legs. It sounds like an ostrich.
Ostrich. O-S-T-R-I-C-H. No, it's not an ostrich. It's a long-legged secretary bird.
Oh, well maybe you should ask the secretary to help you out with your spelling.
So it's lunchtime for the secretary birds.
Yes, it is.
Now they're not going to come and stampede us or peck us to death or anything, are they?
No, they're not.
Okay.
What I have here is a lizard. In the wild, their diet consists of lizards, small rodents, snakes, and insects. And we do try to give them some live food every now and then.
Okay.
And right here we have...
That is a live lizard.
No.
Okay.
Right here in front of us is the male.
Now, how can you tell the difference between the male and the female?
The coloring on the face.
Okay. And he's actually he's chasing the lizard, and what is he?
There he is.
That's how he catches it?
Yes. Their strike is very, very powerful. They strictly catch their prey on the ground. Even though that they are very good flyers, they're terrestrial birds.
Their legs are so thin that you wouldn't think that they were that strong to kill the lizard, but that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
He swallows it whole and that's it.
One of the neat things about their legs is that for the snakes, poisonous snakes, they got really heavy scales there, so when the snake strikes them, they're not really going to get any vital part of their body.
Okay. Now, what did you just throw out to him now?
That was a mouse.
And it was dead?
It was dead,
Now,
yes.
will he still do the same thing, though? He's looking around thinking it's...
Yep, there goes striking it.
Where do these birds get their name of secretary bird?
Very good question. Back in the 1800s, their pens had big plumes on them, and the clerks, when they got done through writing, they would take their pens and they would stick them in their wig behind their ear.
Mm-hmm.
And if you notice, the feathers on the back of the secretary bird's head kind of resembles the feathers that they would stick in their wigs.
Okay. And is that one way of, like when we walked in here, his automatically went up? Is that his defense?
They'll do that when they're hunting, kind of like a hunting stance there for them.
And actually, these are tucked away in the corner of the zoo. That the only place you can really, the only way you can really get to see the secretary birds is by the train, right?
Correct.
And then who do we have over here? Who are the neighbors of these secretary birds?
You have white-bellied storks, and you got tragopans.
And then across the tracks is
blue cranes.
The blue cranes.
Christy, this is really cool seeing this crane chick. How old is he?
He'll be a week old on Sunday.
So he's only about 5 days old now.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the mother is picking up the worms, the mealworms, and feeding them to him, huh?
Yes, he's doubled in size since Sunday. The chicks grow really quick. In about 9 months, they'll be the same size as the adults.
Is that the mother that's feeding him there?
Yes, this is a mother. She is a first-time mother. The male has raised chicks before, so we just kind of thought we'd let them do it and see what she does, and she's doing a great job.
Well, so what does he do? Does he take part in this? Does he feed the chick ever?
We haven't seen him feed the chick, but he did incubate the egg and protection.
Right now he's threatening us, so
Yes.
that's his job, huh?
Yeah.
That's great. Those are mealworms that you threw out there?
Yeah, we give them a supplement feeding of mealworms, waxworms, and crickets. And she has kind of like picked it up and dropped it in front of him a couple of times to see if he would, you know, grasp it.
Oh, I see. So right now she's feeding it and he's taking it right out of her bill.
Right.
But she would like to drop it and let him pick it up off the ground, and that's how he learns to eat.
Right.
Here's this week's Cool Critter question from Mrs. DeHaas class at Burr Road Middle School in Wauseon.
The class writes, Dear Zoo Today, do male kangaroos have pouches?
Here's your answer, Burr Road Middle School.
Thanks for the question. Here at the Toledo Zoo, we house wallabies, which are a member of the kangaroo family. To answer your question, male kangaroos and wallabies do not have pouches. Only females have pouches to carry the young kangaroos, called joeys, for approximately 296 days. Thanks for the question.
Remember, kids, send us a letter with your question and address it to Zoo Today, Cool Critter Questions, P.O. Box 4010, Toledo, Ohio 43609.
We'll choose one question each week and have it answered by an authority at the zoo.
We love hearing from you, so send us your questions today. If you think it's so easy, why don't you try to spell some words?
I would, but I think it's important that you keep practicing. After all, quitters never win, and winners never quit.
Let's try anesthesiologist. You could try.
Success is the offshoot of perseverance.
How about curator?
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Arboretum. Try arboretum. Come on, arboretum.
Case makes rank.